This week in action.
It's happening. It's happening.
Could be something.
Talk to the developers.
Are you playing with my emotions?
Let's get sad and then
Too good to be true.
That's not what they did here. When's the money going?
what other horror stories can come of this?
We love Tencent.
This week in action, podcast 550. And this is going to be a special last Epoch edition. Why, you say? You already know why. It's because this coming Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the gloves are going to be off. The tape is cut. People say that? The curtain is lifted.
I think so.
And we're going to be able to showcase what 11th Hour Games has been working on. And I think it's going to be a whole lot of fun. Now, I'm not going to be able to actually start streaming until a little later on Friday. I do have a full work day. And I am happy to announce that I am taking tonight my final antibiotic. And I'm finally starting to feel a little better, even though my cough will never go away. Daft and Guilty are with me here, as always. Gentlemen, how are you doing?
Hey guys, what's up tonight?
Hey, yo!
And if you guys didn't notice, we have Daftly with his purple lights. I gave us a purple background and turned my computer purple. There's only one person not festive here tonight.
Half my face is purple right now.
Yeah, why is your face so purple right now?
Bad circulation?
Oh,
Did you eat another
Get
one of
that
those
fixed.
chips or?
No, not yet. I'm supposed to be doing something with the bomb or something. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
yeah, I heard about that.
Bert,
That should
hello,
be a
Canadian
good
guy.
time.
Rich, hello. Diggler, hi. Rich, I already said Rich. Aggro, Killian, Flenzer, Tarek, hello. Welcome, everybody. Okay, so we got a great show scheduled for you tonight. We are going to be talking Last Epoch. Some of this is going to be deep conversations. Some of this is going to be review of things that we have talked about. But we figured it was going to be good LE conversations. Guilty simping on that purple drink. What are you sipping on? What do you got there?
Tonight is apple juice.
Let me hold it up. Let me see it. That's not apple juice. That's gin and juice.
You would know.
No, wouldn't. I'm still on dry January. I have not had a sip of booze.
Cecilia and I say there's no such thing as dry January.
Well, that's
Is
what happens
that-
when you drink all the time.
Was that your resolution this year, Aaron?
I always have the same resolution. My wife says I am boring, but my resolution is open my Bible every single day, which I've already broken the resolution. So when I
probably
break
been
the
doing that for a
resolution,
while.
then I've got to open it twice the next day.
It went from read it to just open it.
Well, read it. Open it means read it.
No, implied.
I changed my resolution actually to show my wife more love and affection and how much I care about her this year. So,
All right.
when you're married for a long time, the occasional flowers or long walks, I want to do more to show my appreciation for her. So
Well, that's good. It's a good thing to want to do.
Yeah.
He got in trouble.
no,
Yeah.
I didn't. I wrote it in her birthday card. So I said,
Yeah, we're coming up on our
Ah.
16th next month. So
16th.
yeah,
Yeah.
That's
been
good.
a minute.
That's
Been a
great.
minute.
We
Okay.
just had our 11th.
Enough talking about New Year's resolutions. January's practically over. Let's talk about
Already.
everyone's favorite topic. A decision that EHG made that had overwhelming support that everyone got behind. And that is the decision to have item gifting only and not having trade in the game.
It was a thing.
Okay.
It was heartbreaking.
Maybe I'm being a little facetious. Okay. Maybe the poll I did, 80% of gamers wanted to see trade in an ARPG? Guilty. Why is trade important?
You can base an entire community off trade alone, as you see in PoE.
Yeah, it's like a
Most
side
of the people
mini game.
Yeah, most of the people want the trade, not so much playing with other people, but the ability to be able to trade things they've acquired that they won't use for things that they might be able to use, so the time they've spent still has some value.
Yeah.
Basic economics.
It also opens up to those types of players who are into, say, economics in games. That's a whole like mini game in it, and people like that. So if you don't bring it to the game, it kind of seems like, I don't know, you're a single player game that has multiplayer, that has teaming up, where that doesn't feel multiplayer, even though technically is multiplayer. And that's kind of where the gifting comes in. You have to kind of be together as a troop to actually be able to trade anyway. So
has there been any isometric action RPGs that have come out that are single player recently?
Yes, Superfuse is about to release.
Superfuse has multiplayer.
Does.
Single player.
Did it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think, because when I think about it, any modern ARPG is multiplayer.
Nobody Saves the World.
Okay, I guess that's fair.
Yeah.
But okay, I guess that's fair. But that game's small and
not bad game.
But it's not
really good ideas in that game too.
But does it actually an isometric action RPG?
Yes.
It's not a looter.
No, but it is an ARPG in the isometric sense. And it's an action RPG, but it's not a loot-based RPG.
Normally, when you see single player, it normally carries with it RPG, like CRPG, classic role-playing or turn-based,
right?
Or roguelite, roguelike. But, obviously the Grim Dawns, the PoEs, the Diablos, the Last Epochs, the Titan Quests,
all of those have multiplayer.
All of them do. The point I'm trying to get to is that if you want to be on the ARPG mountain, if you want to carve out your spot, you need multiplayer. Do we agree? Like, is that fairly?
I would say so, yeah.
Right? Daft, would you agree?
Yeah,
Martyr has it. Chaos Bane has it,
Well, so think about this. Even the Souls games, From Software's games, even they, to an extent, have multiplayer. It's just not traditional. It's more or less games need some multiplayer component for the most part. Like shooter games have to be multiplayer now.
Yep.
RPGs, like look at ESO. ESO is very popular. It's about to get another expansion. They've just made 20 plus of the DLC for it free for you for a limited time. It's Skyrim. It's multiplayer Skyrim essentially, with like not the exact same game mechanics.
Right.
Now,
well, I was going to say
Daph.
real quick. I grew up with video games kind of in their infancy, as far as Atari 2600. And the thing that defined games at that time was a single player game or a multiplayer game, right? That's the difference in it. If you didn't have it, you were a certain type of game. You were like a Zelda. You were like it fit certain things, but there was always the multiplayer aspect. And as we move further through the consoles, the Nintendos, et cetera, they kept refining that part of it more. So it became more about, multiplayer games where you're like in groups of 4 or 2. And I think that adds a lot to the diversity of the game. So them putting it in, it wasn't the plan, it seems like, early on. And so they're having troubles just figuring out like how much. I think they still want that single gamer mentality, but within a multiplayer game. And so they're making
Fallout 76.
Yeah. Trying to make it so you have to still grind. And some people don't want to grind, they just want to trade and play the game. So I think that's the problem they're having right now. How
Baldur's
easy-
Gate 1, Rich and Denali says original Diablo had multiplayer as well.
So I think that's the big thing. Their
The
trouble is
long-winded
sitting there.
point I am trying to make is that to be large, to be on the ARPG mountain, there are certain things that are almost required of the genre. One of those is I can play with friends, I could play with community, I can play with loved ones, whoever it is. The other one is trade. If you had to have two things, one would be multiplayer. I would actually I don't know where I would put like loot hunt. That's in the probably top 3, whatever order you want to put it in.
Sure.
It's got to have a loot hunt. It's got to have multiplayer, and it has to have a form of trade, right? Out of all those games we talked about, what game doesn't have trade?
It needs to have like a unique mechanic, or other. I'm not going to play it. I'll play something that already exists.
Right.
Pretty much Titan Quest and Grim Dawn with that engine with the dual class. That's unique to THQ Nordic / Crate.
Yeah.
PoE, it's massive wheel of nonsense. It's spaghetti casserole chaos of don't mess up. Awesome.
Right.
Lots of research required not to mess up on that.
Yeah.
Or follow a build guide. In the case of LE, it's kind of more traditional Diablo 2 style, where you don't need to have a billion things to pick from, but you have enough in the class you've chosen with the 3, your base and your 2 sides,
Right.
except for the ones that haven't got both sides yet.
Oh, so what's that?
Oh, yeah. Oops. No Falconer yet.
So why not put trade?
Punk.
So why would EHG choose to not have trade?
I can't
Power.
answer for sure.
My guess is the power of the player. They don't want you to get powerful too quick by
Or
trading.
they
I don't
made
know.
the game in a certain way, and engineering trade into that's not so
True. Could be that.
clean cut.
Technical.
Yeah,
So they
'Cause
have to rehash
they-
the whole system.
maybe. I don't know. I don't know what the and maybe they're working on trade right now. We could know. Like 1.0 could come with trade. We don't know.
Yeah, that would make the mass populace super happy, I think.
Yeah.
You know.
I haven't met one person that was happy. I was like, oh, they're gonna take the trade away. Okay, not one. Not one person was like, I'm cool with this.
I can't name the name off the top of my head, but there has been people in my YouTube videos that have left comments that are saying, hey, I'm solo self-found. I don't play with people. Like, I'm actually glad there's no trade. So there are, I mean, again, when I did the poll,
I mean,
80% want
there
trade.
are no Kickstarters that are happy about this.
There are some people happy about it. It's just the majority.
it'd be hard pressed to say happy, because to be happy, you're just happy that the multiplayer community is suppressed a little bit, and that's it. So
yeah, you're just happy because some people are upset.
Yeah, no. Yeah, as long as you could play the game solo, it's not going to change their game. So either way, but regardless, it is the talk of the town right now for LA. That seems to be the most important topic.
There's some other talk coming up this weekend.
There's a lot of talk.
Yeah, like they're going to let us essentially play CT, but like stream it.
Yeah, so Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we are going to be able to play Community Tester Realm.
Yeah,
on stream.
We got green. Yeah, we got green, which is what's it called? Content creator?
Something like that.
Content creator, affiliate. Discord.
Yeah, what green?
You have one more little badge that you wear.
Yes.
Basically.
Go play Grim Dawn if you hate.
You put it on your arm.
Yeah.
Before we move on to this weekend, Shammy, powerful Shammy, who just jumped in chat, go play Grim Dawn if you hate trade.
I still trade in Grim Dawn.
Made me think of a game that I am currently playing that I'm currently really enjoying, Torchlight Infinite. If Torchlight Infinite did not have a trade house, I don't think I would play it. It is a quintessential part
For
of
that
the
game,
game.
with
That game would be horrible without it. Trying to grind to find everything and figure out where the hell it falls and all that.
Trying to get the perfect 6.
Yes.
It's always cheaper to buy it. I would venture to guess almost always cheaper to buy it.
I've decided I'm going to make a primalist for this weekend. Oh,
Are you, Rich?
well, don't
Good,
worry. We're
Rich.
going to talk about
I am as well.
characters. No, you're not.
Be
You
a
guys-
healer type. So you can have a healer class.
Rich should be a Beastmaster. Don't be a shaman.
I'm going bear. I'm going bear.
You could pick shaman.
Let him
Shaman's
do whatever
fine.
you think he wants. Just the bear's mine, sir.
Honestly, it doesn't matter what you guys pick. I'm going to carry you through the entire weekend.
Oh,
You could do whatever. You could be naked
Rich, I promise
for all
you,
I
if
care.
I get his armor, I will give it to you.
I have gotten
the
confirmation
I
that
will
my
gift
new
wrap it.
armor coming into the game is not in yet.
Oh. Wah.
So
Oh, he says he's gonna make a Beastmaster.
there you go. You go Beastmaster and pick squirrels. I go Necro and go fire. Guilty doesn't count. Daft. We'll pick. I don't know what. Well, we're gonna talk about that
While
later.
I am drawing aggro and getting beat up, you're going to be in the back doing nothing and letting the game's AI do the job for you. Got it.
Work smarter, not harder. Okay.
Let that game
We
play
are
itself,
not
sir.
done with trade. Today, I was on LE's forum, and I saw a post that had close to 700 views, which is a lot. I was like, oh, what's going on?
Sorry, but Rich has something to say. He says, when you die on Emperor of Corpses, I'll carry you, my friends.
You monster. Actually, I need help. I need help with that fight. And you bringing up Emperor of Corpses brings up perfect this next topic. Last Epoch official forum. The coming gift system encourages party playing too much. Isn't it true that with the new gift system, the players playing in a party would have a big advantage when seasons, epochs, or whatever they're called start? They are called cycles, because they will have several times more chances to find a particular piece of gear while playing together in a party than a solo player.
Good.
Is it okay with the devs? I think that would force players to party up even if they feel like they didn't have to.
Party up.
Just to be able to gear faster. What do you guys think? Now, before Guilty and Daft, before you comment, okay?
I already did. Sorry.
And by the way, Garfunkel, thank you for putting this out there. EHG has always said, whatever a party does, a single player can do as well. We never want to put any content behind party system. On top of that, they said a non-synergized party is worse than single player, but a synergized party would be better than single player. So obviously, if you have 4 players all building their builds around each other to synergize with each other, that would be the best way.
Yeah.
Last thing before you comment. The other day, I was playing CT and I was fighting. I went to go fight the Emperor of Corpses. And before I went to that fight, I hit up Daft, Guilty, and Rich and said, hey, can you guys jump on?
That's true.
I want you to jump on with me because the Dragon Flame Edict staff has a 50% drop rate. And if all 4 of us kill the Emperor of Corpses, there's likely all 4 of us would get it. And then you could trade me the best version of it or one with legendary potential. That popped into my head immediately when I read this post. Okay, now you can comment.
So
Well,
I think
Before we comment,
Go ahead.
were we allowed to even join?
No, you couldn't join, but that's
No.
because you weren't on that. But I mean, obviously, you would be
if
on the
we were
same
in the party.
timeline if we were playing
Right.
over and over again.
Yeah. So I get that part.
They shouldn't block that at all. You should be able to carry all the way through. Period. It's not like it's as fast as D3.
No.
Like, the benefit to grouping up is, power boosting. So someone that didn't play 2 weeks before you can catch up to them. And if you can't get into the content that they're in, there's no point to having multiplayer. So take that wall out. Stop crippling your player base. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, go on.
Yeah, we don't need to cripple. Yeah, I mostly agree. I think, obviously a bad group or like a random group probably won't do that well because yes, with the whole composition of the team. But if we're playing every week and we're playing all these cycles together, then it probably is going to be beneficial because we'll be able to like maximize that. So, I mean, but is there anything wrong with that? That's just
But
playing in a group.
The
But the point is,
the post
you're
is
saying,
obvious. The post is unbelievably accurate. Hey, us four are
Yeah.
playing. Guilty. What item are
Yeah.
you looking for? I'm looking for
So,
whatever. Okay,
right.
we'll farm
To
that
that-
until we find it and give it to you, and then for sure.
They could get on Discord and say, "Hey, I'm alone. Does anyone have this? Will they run me?" And someone will be on Discord to help you. And that is my answer.
But think of this. Hold on. So let's say, okay, Guilty, make it where you can fight the Emperor of Corpses. Daft, make it where you fight the Emperor of Corpses. I make it to where you fight the Emperor of Corpses. Rich makes it. So we're all playing single player until we get to the boss fight. All right, group up. My turn, we get 4 staffs. Guilty's turn, we get 4 staffs. Daft's turn, we get 4 staffs. Rich's, we just got 16 Dragon Flame Edicts. Okay, Aaron, pick which one you want. Compared to a single player, that gets 1.
So
Right?
don't be a single player and don't whine about it.
I'm going to guess, though, single player people, they'll be part of the community, but they're just going to be a quieter part of the community. They're just there to play the game, not necessarily to jump on
Right
with
now,
the community.
essentially, Rich has gone through this and Aaron has gone through this. You and I, not so much. We've done a little mix of multiplayer and solo for CT, but they've gone through pretty much as you can go through single player. So
now it is an interesting thought. So in chat, they are talking about how any item you're looking for, it's normally pretty easy to find. So, and for example, I was just talking about Torchlight Infinite. The game would suck if it didn't have a trade house. But if in Torchlight Infinite, I needed this axe, and I know that this boss drops the axe, and I just went and killed that boss to get the axe, well, then it probably wouldn't be as bad. And that is technically how LE is currently set up. If you need an item, you will know where to go to farm for it until you get it. So since it's so easy to find items and gear, why do you need trade?
well, yeah, Rich and then Denali. So Rich says there is no way in later stages that single player would ever be as good as group for items, which is objectively correct. And the Denali says on another topic, isn't anyone else bothered that LE bosses don't drop much of anything, so there's no real reason to kill them twice. Boss farming was always fun to me, and
that is a good point.
We ran into that a couple times. I'm sure they'll address that. For the other, it's objectively correct. Just it's the nature of a beast. When they put effort into multiplayer, there's no way to balance one against the other cleanly. You're either going to be like giving a huge handicap to the other or taking away from the other. So it's like what you can give a handicap to solo play, and then everyone will play solo play because it'll just be easier. Or you can handicap multiplayer, and no one will play multiplayer because they're handicapped. There's no clean way to do it.
I guess in my head, I just keep thinking about, let's just say I have the best Necro on the planet, and I can clear 300 corruption, Julra T4 without you guys. Okay, hey, Daft, Guilty, come in, just die and lay on the floor. I kill her, and now we get 3 times the rewards to split amongst each other, right? All I'm thinking about is, you just need one person to carry for 3 times the results, right? I mean, this post is accurate in saying that partying is way better, right? I mean,
but it is. But is that wrong?
Even when we were playing CT together, it'd be like, I'll go up, you go down, you go middle. That way we kill as many enemies so that
that's what we did.
Build as much stability as possible.
Right.
So that we get to the bosses faster. In almost every facet, it seems like it's better.
Well, but the actual question here is that negative?
But they don't want it to be better. Like
that's what they're saying, and they're probably
single player persons don't want it to be better, but if you can if you can come up with a way to balance the single player and multiplayer player without gimping one and handicapping the other, or gimping one or handicapping the other, some mixture of the two, let me know.
Ooh, Tarek says, what about the lightless arbor vault? Seems like there's a huge advantage for groups depending on how EHG handles it. If you guys don't know what he's talking about, that's where it's the gold sink. So that's where you can put gold in and then you get, a million rewards. Well, if it's only one person putting in the gold and then it's ×3, you could literally pull 100 exalted items ×4. That's like, it's
right.
That's pretty crazy.
But, I mean,
I'm
it's
sure
always
they have
been
to have
like this, so
they have to have a thought for that.
And all these multiplayer ARPGs, it's been like that. I mean, the group's always benefited by getting a bigger pool to select from, or
What's wrong with last Epoch just telling people to make friends? Use Discord, party up.
Genocide says, can multiplayer trade be between people haven't played Ellie for a while? What EHG has done is they have made the decision to not have trade in the game, but have an item gifting system. This is where if you are playing with friends and you are in the same zone, killing enemies, and an item falls, that item can be gifted to each other. But there is no auction house, there's no trade house, there's no guild trade, there's no mailing items. If you are not playing with a person when the item falls, it cannot be traded.
Lexathor, Alexazor, Levathor. That person. I said it before, last Epoch drop rates and gear targeting is way too easy on top of the powerful crafting on top. It has great crafting, and the drop rates aren't bad considering Homeboy just pulled a Bastion, 3 or 4 days ago?
I did pull a Bastion of Honor in CT.
That was fun.
At level 75 monos, and I just laughed. I had a good laugh because everyone's like, I could never find this item. I got
Ding! And then we had a pally with us.
But it isn't LP4.
He's like,
You're
no,
right.
You can't have this.
I know.
We had a shield rush pally. He's like, nope, it's mine.
You know what? I'm gonna give it to Rich. Rich, you can have it. Because that's what's cool about the system, though. When it drops, it auto tags everybody in it, so they could keep it for a year and then give it away.
It's like all these items become like the vault of all the items we all ever found. Hey, I'm making a so-and-so class. Does anybody did you ever find this? Oh yeah, you found it, right? And so
Phantom, hey nerds. Hello, sir.
This system is built for a guild.
It really is.
If you just put that in a guild. It was
made for Synergies. So when people are like, oh, multiplayer people, well, that's the way they're developing the game now.
Right. So if they add guilds eventually, they could mix this up a little bit and maybe expand it to guild.
But this is what we have talked about in the past is solo self-found doesn't care. So if there was Undecember, pay to win, literally slide the card for power, and the worst auction house, trade house, PoE economy, whatever system it is, if you are solo self-found, it means nothing to you. It means absolutely nothing. Because you're not going to play with friends, you're not going to play with the community, you're not going to be spending money, you're not going to be doing any of that. So it's meaningless.
Play a different game.
You might be playing with friends, but you're playing separately. You talk.
Yeah,
yes.
You can play solo and not care about gear and just play with your own stuff.
So you are designing the current system to benefit solo self-found when solo self-found doesn't care. That's always been my point, is that they don't care. It doesn't matter
that's a good
to them.
Point. Yeah, that's a good point. Because when they're in I'll have probably a solo self-found character just to have, this is all I've ever found kind of character. But I'll probably make more of them in multiplayer just because. So
think about this. To go with your solo self-found, a lot of people will do solo self-found hardcore characters. Just to be the most difficult it can be. But this game seems to be doing something that other ARPGs, and by ARPGs, I'm going to throw in Diablo clone. That specifically loot-based, isometric, point mouse movement style game, where synergies in grouping matter, like they would
Yeah.
in a pen and paper RPG or a tabletop RPG. That's cool. That's kind of a novel thing because we really haven't seen a game that does that, with the exception of some CRPGs that border on ARPG. Like Divinity Original Sin 2 was close, but not really. And maybe Larion's other offering, which is not released yet. Those are also like synergy based. That proper setup is good in those, but this is a true ARPG where being optimized by this guy's going to run and tank for us. This person's going to be range. This person's going to do DPS melee might actually matter. We haven't seen it before. The fact that they're trying to do it's good, and I don't really understand why people are trying to like gimp it before it's even released and complain about it.
That's just the nature of the beast right now.
Run
People are always on these
Gamer.
waves of excitement or hatred of a game.
Why not have two
D2R
ladders?
Chamois, yeah.
Yep.
Why not have two ladders, one for solo self-found and one for traders? That's been brought up 100 times. It's just it's too much to manage. They don't want to do it like right now. Like,
they might get to it. They could once the game stabilizes and they got all the stuff out and the classes.
What would they be managing though? Because they aren't actively managing anything. They just they just make a separate tree.
So what they said is they never want any external factors. They don't want an external economy website. They don't want an external website selling chaos, or whatever the in-game currency is. They don't want an external loot filter. Everything is supposed to be maintained in game. You never got to alt tab to go to anything. That's always been their plan. And I think that's where trade, like they actually put it in the post. They talk about how, however, we also wanted to have a player economy on top of this. This led to us designing various iterations of the bazaar and auction house or player shop style systems, always with a lot of restrictions on the rate and type of items players could trade to hopefully keep the system under control and ensure that the items you could acquire in this manner didn't eclipse those you found from drops or crafted. The more we found problems with these iterations of trade, new ones, advanced ideas, the more we realized that any of these economic-based trade systems would damage this progression. Economics are extremely complex, even when they're limited to video game items. They're often unintuitive. They change over time as the player base finds more items, and they can act very differently depending on the number of active players. The idea is that they tried, and then ultimately decided, nope, we're scrapping it.
I think it has more to do with the time frame they had. If they weren't in this part of the build of the game, maybe if it was released and now they wanted to add it for at that point, they'd probably try harder to do that. But they started thinking, oh no, multiplayer. Oh no, we need classes. All this, the game's supposed to be out. Oh no. I just think they chopped it, gave us a very like first edition trade. Okay, just give them this. They're going to hate us, but they'll have trade. It'll encourage the groups to play, excuse me, and play together and stuff like that. And let's add to it after. Let's try to build something on the hush.
Turk agrees with you, Deft.
Yeah, I honestly think EHG is afraid of putting trade when they have to think about every aspect it could have on itemization. I guess it requires a lot of balancing when they are already occupied with multiplayer. Yeah. I've said this over and over again. My honest opinion is they will pivot. I don't want to say they have to pivot, but I really believe
they have to pivot.
I really believe
I'll say it. He did.
If they stick with what they have always said in the past, it is overwhelming the response they got when they announced that trading would not be in the game. And if they truly want to listen to the community and the gamer and stick by that, they have to pivot. Like 80% of the
Yeah.
community wants it. It's probably higher. It's probably like 85, 90%
It could be much higher, like
want
97%.
some version of trade.
Yeah, and we have it. It's just now, it's like
So
the special
in this
group.
case, Athdal, sometimes the community is wrong rather. Yeah. So in this particular case, it may be a vocal minority that is complaining about why is the group going to be better off than the single player? It's some people just want to make complaints. Some people are appalled at the thought of having to change the way they do things. And for the last 4 years, 5 years, 3 years, however long they've been playing, they've been doing it single player. The game's changing and they may not like it. That could be a part of this.
Now,
Be a small minority.
Now, I apologize if you were on my last stream because I'm going to reiterate a couple things that I talked about there. That a game that a lot of people look to is Diablo 3, very popular, whether you loved it or hated it, and it didn't stand up to D2. That being said, the game was huge, broke a lot of sales broke a lot of sales records, continued to update, and there's still a lot of people that play it. And that game technically does not have trade, and it's successful. But the point that I always make is that Diablo is Diablo. There is no game almost on the planet. Like I would put it like Mario Brothers, Sonic, Zelda, Diablo. Like that game, not in that order. It's huge. Like even my son, my kids, like that didn't grow up with anything. No Diablo. It is one of the few games that can cross multiple genres and pull people in. Last Epoch doesn't hold a Diablo name. So saying we're gonna be like that doesn't work. Like that's
no, you're being something different.
Same outs. Yeah.
I mean, Diablo Immortal was what I think it was my most hated game of last year.
Trash.
And it still made what is it at 400 million? Like,
you guys know that was just a reskin game that already existed overseas, right?
We're not talking about Diablo Immortal. I shouldn't even have said that.
I mean, you brought it up. It's bad. Terrible.
Terrible.
Okay. We're speaking about Diablo. Blizzard, or Activision Blizzard, losing their contract with NetEase, or not re-upping, or whatever the actual reason was. We will never know. Supposedly, the asks from NetEase were extreme, and Activision Blizzard was like, "Oh no, I'll do anything for love, but I won't do that." And nothing could be had from that. NetEase recently destroyed the World of Warcraft statue that they had on their grounds.
They did.
And then published a photo of it.
I didn't even look into it yet, but Lady Medusa in Discord said that China's trying to ban World of Warcraft right now.
No, NetEase destroyed the statue for Activision Blizzard had gifted them, or they built, or whatever. The statue has been destroyed. Publicly destroyed. So I'm going to guess that it's going to be a while before World of Warcraft goes back to China.
Right. So
thank you, Guilty, for that piece of information.
Or Diablo, for that matter, or Overwatch, or Hearthstone, or even Call of Duty, for that matter.
Derailing.
It's okay. It's okay. I'm fine with that. This is what I have proposed, and I've actually talked to Mike about it in his Friday streams. They want to do clans, their version of guilds. Clans.
Yes.
And a way to not have a player-driven economy, a big old blown-up thing like PoE, or not to have a Undecember auction house, or not to have a Torchlight trade house, is you can do clan trading. Clan trading. So you can have a 30-person clan, a 20-person clan. It doesn't even matter how many people. And you can't jump from clan to clan, and minimum of once a month or something like that.
Right.
And if you are in that clan, you could freely trade with anybody that is a part of that clan. That way, you could build a community of people that are playing together, that are supporting together, that you could trade items with each other, that isn't a player-driven economy. And that creates, some good, We're giving you trade, but it's still controlled to what we want it to be. Like, that makes sense to me. Super. And they want to do clans anyways. So it's like, hey, community, we heard you. This is our plan. And I think that solves a lot of the problem.
Then we should be able to build a stronghold in game.
That would be cool.
Just like a base type thing. Different rooms. Have a little merchant room. Trading amongst the players. A room for dummies so you can practice. Just make a little barracks type thing. Be fun.
Atlas shrugged. That makes sense. Denali, clan trading would solve everything because trading with your friends is all you really are asking for. Minimum, basically, group self-found. Exactly. Because that's the feedback, and that's what I've heard from people. Like, hey, I only play with one person, my best friend. And if he gets off at nighttime and I keep playing and then I find the item that we were both looking for, you're telling me I can't give it to him? Like, that's ridiculous. I only play with 5 people. I only play with my wife. I only, like, people actually aren't saying we need a trade house. We need a bazaar. We need an auction house. We need a full player driven economy built by a third party site and hideouts to go transfer it to and a DM system and all that crap. No, they just like a simple, I found an item for Guilty's werebear and here's a present.
The box, just a normal storage. I mean,
a present.
It's a present. Yeah. I've even crafted on it to make it perfect for you because that's how much I care.
So at a Dathal, he talks about people maybe doing website trading, mass on that end, or bot guilds. So I guess that's a thing you'd have to consider. This isn't Lost Ark, though, where that was like a Boomville. That was like Boomtown.
But I think the idea is that if you can only trade amongst guild members and you can't jump between guilds, those websites would never be successful. It'd be, I mean, there'd be like, what could they do? Hey, I have the best item in the game. Do you want it? No, I'm not in your guild. Like, I mean, like it doesn't do anything.
Gamer. I don't care about trading. I have no friends except
I'm
for
your
the 1,500 plus people in the Discord you're part of, but okay.
Yeah.
Not enough friends.
Tarek, I was one of the few people that was like big supporter of the Bazaar because I was like, it's basically a beefed up D2 trade system. When I was in high school, it'd be like, hey, like, we would just after school jump from trade room to trade room and check out what people have. Like, it's crazy. Even in Diablo 2, we were already trading. And I thought Last Epoch's idea of like rotating shops and being able to sell MTX to make that shop and being able to post your items, like, oh, that was kind of a fun idea. Like, I'm streaming. Hey, let's go check the shops and see what people have available. And then you find the tier 7 hybrid health on the boots with speed and you laugh when you buy it for a ridiculous price. Like, that sounds like fun. Like, it's flea market. You're looking for the deal or whatever, or what people have found. Like, I don't know. I thought that was a fun idea.
I mean, the idea is not bad, but can they implement it? That's where, how confident are they? What are they going to try to do? So
if you can't guild hop and have to stay in it for a while, it wouldn't work. Exactly. I think the idea is like, you can't join a guild, you could, if you leave a guild, you got to wait 30 days or you could only join one for 30 days.
Why would you put any like restriction on anything in that regard? Like,
the idea is if you could only guild trade, but you could jump guilds, well, then people just easily figure out a way around it. So it's like
Panero says, or toxicity between guild members, etc. Like, yeah, you might get into a scuffle and you want to go to a different guild. And you don't want to be penalized for not wanting to be around people that make you feel uncomfortable. There should be no penalties. Like, you should be able to just freely move between them in every game. Like,
hey, Powerful Shammy, are you out there?
100%.
Powerful Shammy, are you out there? Tarek said, you'll have bots regardless of what trade system you make. I'm trying to think of Torchlight Infinite. if it has bots.
There probably are. It's probably not as pronounced as say some other games we played that may have gathered 40% of my attention last year.
Lost Ark. You can't talk about Lost Ark is bots. The whole game is bots.
The majority, and when I say the majority of the US or the West was bots, that's accurate. That's objectively correct.
There was a big group.
Yeah, over 200. Was it 240,000?
Yeah, it was 240,000 bots they just got rid of, and they're already all coming back. Powerful Shammy, has Torchlight Infinite seen any bot problems? I know there's external websites selling currency that they ban tons of accounts for if you purchase them, but nothing that I really see or notice. It definitely has bots. I see them running back and forth right now, this moment. That's not bots. So Torchlight Infinite is an online game. And people that are online, they take their characters and they run them from NPC to NPC. They're to give you the illusion of it being a multiplayer game, but those people they're not actually there. But those aren't bots. It's really funny. I used to think the same thing. I remember chasing Guilty and Daft around, and I'm like, why aren't you guys stopping to look at me? Oh, they're not really in town. I'm just an idiot. You're like, don't clip that. Sorry.
So,
or
I remember having to wait for the stack of bots to clear off an island so I can click on
the
clickable portion of the screen. And that was just one thing I have to complain about with that game. But moving back to last Epoch, what are you going to run, Daft? Do you know?
It's bounced around. I think I'm going to end up in a rogue of some sorts, probably ranged.
Hey, Ron, switch to that particular screen.
Give you some.
Oh, fancy.
Yeah.
This is what everybody should play if you're smart.
What? Emo girl?
What?
You know, does she get jealous when her phone dies?
Dude, she's okay. So she shops at Hot Topic. Like, what's the big deal? It's her favorite store. By the way, which actually has, or which we're not playing PoE. Acolyte actually has like a new kind of look to her. So
a little bit.
Minion builds are for the weak, unless it's TLI, then they're fantastic. But in every other game, I would agree.
Yeah, right. You're a moto runner. Like, what are you talking about?
I am specifically an anarcho moto runner.
Okay.
It's a different thing altogether, sir.
Gotcha.
And I run dual interlocking souls, which means every time I cast a minion, I'm actually hurting myself. So
I like Daft more and more. Rogue is life. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Okay.
Rogue is fun. The first time I ran Rogue was actually in them in CT.
Listen to me.
LE. It was fun.
I cannot wait to showcase why Necro is going to be a top tier build. There are two new nodes. There's two new nodes that are on a singular skill tree that change the game, that makes it beautiful and powerful and up there with the best. I was playing with Rich. Rich was a shield rush pally and could not keep up with me. That's all I'm saying. That's it.
Aaron is the king of overselling, according to Ethanol.
No.
So if you want to let the game play itself, play Minions build.
All right.
If you want the game's AI to play the game for you,
let's take a gander at Guilty's choice.
There's a lot of mixtures of how you can mix with the AI.
It's true. There are variants.
There's variant types of.
Look at
minions.
Who did
that
Big Boy?
Sexy ass bear.
Grizzly bear is my favorite animal, so I can openly admit that. So you learned something new about me.
Like a big dog. Like a real big dog.
And if you haven't seen my dev chat video, it showcases the new bear companion. looks really good. It's kind of like it's got its hair all done in braids, kind of,
looks
and it's
really good.
got some
It's got
little
good
light
fluff.
leather armor on it.
I'm still miffed about the look of the new model for the character itself. It looks like shiny Carl Urban.
No, it's Mike.
That's not Mike.
It's
It used
Mike.
to be Mike. Now it's shiny Carl
It's
Urban.
Mike.
Look
Like
right
they
there.
threw
Look at
tan
Daft's
oil.
shirt. Look at
Yeah,
Daft's
sure.
shirt. There it is. Mike.
Mike.
Things that the old model was Mike. The new model is not this guy.
He
Okay.
should have just made it Mike. I wonder if it was some legal thing, like we can't use his face or he didn't
We can't
want
use
to.
Mike because we have to pay him or something.
Yeah, why they should have just made it his face. Okay, so this will be Guilty's pick, and he is going to be clicking him. It's off screen right now. He's going to be a druid
Yeah.
because he wants to go werebear form.
I might go a bugbear. I might go mix, multi-form. But I may just go depending because we're not going to get too far into it. I
Just
might
do
just go
EQ, just be Earthquake Werebear. It's standard. Everybody does it. It's so easy to get the unique for it. Okay. Moving on to Mr. Guilty. You got the young lassie sitting in the tree. Ooh. Whoa.
How young
that.
is she with all that gray hair?
She takes care of herself. I don't know.
She's in her 40s, 50s.
No, she dyes it.
She's like 55. She looks like some of the retirees.
She dyes it white. That's a
gray.
style. Gray.
Yeah. Style
Nah,
point.
she's an old woman. She's an old scorned woman.
I missed some of chat.
Do
Denali
you see the old
Denali says he'll
scorned woman torso?
Denali is going to trade me 5 sets of pebbles for Bastion. I cannot believe I found a Bastion of Honor in a level 75 mono on the ground. It just fell from a regular mob playing Necro.
That's why like RNG is fun.
You're right. We don't
because
need
you
trade. It's so
typically
easy to
play
get
for
everything.
3 minutes.
That's easy. That's easy.
Oh, man.
Or
He
Daft.
picked the hard. Yeah.
Daft, have you decided? Are we going to do Blade Dancer or are we going to do Marksman?
Most likely Marksman.
I like that because then I could use your Dust Shroud.
Canadian guy says
buff all
it's
my
silver hair.
Yep.
Like she's, running in.
Yeah,
that,
Canadian has a little salt and pepper.
Silver. What is it? The where they spray the silver spray paint in
I don't know.
Mad Max.
Oh,
It's all in her hair.
yeah.
The same spray paint.
Hey, Guilty, I have a question for you. So Kellyanne says,
Witness me.
last Epoch is trying to solve a theoretical problem before it even exists as a game. What do you think of that?
Yes. That's what's happening. Like they're overthinking things. And it seems to be that that's been kind of a repeat thing. Like certain things they've overthought in the past, currently certain not, and that's normal. What's not normal is making it public. Yeah.
You want to see something sexy?
It's not a good look.
Show you something sexy right here.
What's happening?
That level 100 Necro right there. That's
No one cares about your level 100 Necro.
or level 100 Paladin. 95 Shaman, 98
especially
Sorcerer, 84
no one
Forge Guard,
cares about
94
any of
Marksman,
that trash.
99 Druid. Druid almost got to 100.
You know what'd be great?
What?
Is if that didn't look like shiny Carl Urban meets the original like He-Man figures.
What? No. Don't. We're not. You need to be nice. You need to be nice.
I was.
being
I
mostly
like He-Man figures.
Yeah.
Tarek, I wonder if we will be able to link items in chat for 09 so I can boast those 4 LP items on my friends. They for sure want that. So they have talked about that, and which is so funny. It's like, look at this. Sorry, I can't give it to you, but I could show you it. But they're for sure going to have that.
My room is full of He-Man figures rolling on the floor laughing.
I
Good man.
have the power.
Good
I use that
man.
as intro videos all the time for
Yeah.
YouTube. Nothing wrong with He-Man.
Classic.
He-Man's great.
I'm bouncing all over the place. I apologize. It's Guilty's fault. Kellyanne
I
saying
blame
that they are
myself.
trying to solve a theoretical problem before it exists as a game.
Yeah.
Yes.
They have
Been
said
doing that.
for a long time, it's easy to implement something. It's easy to test something. It's easy to get feedback on something. It is really, really hard to take something away. So if you do something a certain way, everybody gets used to it. The second you pull it away, it doesn't matter if it's the right thing to do, the wrong thing to do. There's always going to be a large majority of the player base that doesn't like that. So kind of the idea is we want to get it right from the start so that we don't have to pull away. Just so you know, at
You
least.
just can't do that though. There's always someone who's not happy about something. So you just got to figure out what you're going to do. Hope your player base likes it for the majority and go with it and stick with it, finish it, get the game done, then move on. So I think, I think that's the general gripe for everybody though, is like, we're still missing classes. Multiplayer trade seems weird. And we still waiting on release. So it's like,
dude, it's pretty
come on.
crazy. When we put up that survey on YouTube that said, what are you most anticipating? And it was multiplayer. It was 3 masteries. It was bizarre. Like, we put up everything. Classes won. Classes like barely beat out multiplayer. And I gave that info to EHG. And EHG was like, we are very surprised that your community, 1,200 people voted and said they want the 3 masteries more than
They're
multiplayer.
not surprised. They're not surprised.
I mean, they said they were surprised.
I mean, I don't believe it. Like, finished game, multiplayer on an unfinished game. You do the math.
Yeah.
I mean, people, I think also, like, the people that are voting are people that have been playing the game for a long time. So the thought of getting a new mastery to play with and something new to explore is probably more alluring than playing the same game I've already played with the same mastery that I've already played with friends that I've played other games with. Like, I guess that does make sense thinking of it like that.
I mean, maybe the data they're collecting is skewed. Maybe they're not. For instance, they put up a poll, and to be honest, I don't really frequent their forums very often, so I'm not going to answer their poll. I'm not on social media that they may be using very often. I think they use Reddit, right? I don't use Reddit at all. So I would be counted out of that. And I'm willing to bet a large portion of other people would be too. So their data, if they're reaching out, unless they're using something that everyone uses, it's skewed.
Right. I think maybe their most reliable group now is the CT group. And they put their money, they're putting their time there now, and we can interact with them directly. So maybe they're going to get caught up to speed now because they're not in the forums. They're not on all these like Reddits and stuff like that. They're actually with the people who are currently playing the game.
Yep.
That actively talk in Discord already. So you're going to get a good cross section there.
They should probably listen to the people who actively seek them out.
Yeah. Because they're actively playing the game. That's your group. And
like, not so much Reddit. I got kicked off Reddit. Can you guess why?
Because you're a bad person?
Oh, no, for inactivity.
Oh. They probably thought you were a bot.
Account.
They thought you were a bot.
I think they did. And I sent them an email, and I'm like, can you please turn it back on? I barely use it. And like 2 months later, I got turned back on, but whatever.
They thought you were a Lost Ark bot, and they're like,
I mean, essentially.
They're like, cut him out. Okay. I'm not beating a dead horse. This is entirely same but different point of view of this topic, okay? A lot of people think when you introduce seasons, leagues, cycles, that there's no reason to have those if you don't have trade. Let me explain. Okay. The whole point of a league, a season, a cycle is to reset economies and to reset economy with a new mechanic. If you don't have a reset to reset the economy, why do you need cycles? And obviously I already know to have something new to do. But why do you need a reset then? Guilty.
Well, so you mentioned something specific in there, new mechanic.
Okay.
And it's not so much for me about the reset of the economy. Especially in something like PoE, I don't care. Like rich people can be rich, especially in PoE. I don't care how many chaos they have, how many divines they have.
Right.
It doesn't bother me. It doesn't affect me in any way, shape, or form.
How many mirrors they?
Oh yeah. I have never seen a mirror in my entire time playing that game. Like I've seen them for sale. None of that affects me. The reason I go back is for the change of mechanic, the updated mechanic. And sometimes it's good and sometimes it's horrible. And it's like whatever the dice come up as. The thing you said specifically, the new mechanic, that's why you do seasons. Like TLI's new mechanic is, in my opinion, fun, especially on higher tiers. Like on lower tiers, the game teaches you how to play it by making it easy.
Yeah, I skip it.
Yeah, you just skip it early on. When you get up to like tier 6, 7, fun times.
Right.
That's also when it starts to matter. But you can do that in some old PoE stuff. You would skip it until it mattered. But they're not playing it to just reset the economy, to have everyone go back to ground zero. They're looking for the new thing to play. No one cares if someone has all of the currency on Earth. I mean, some people do. I'm being hyperbolic, but like, it really doesn't affect them either.
But do you think that it's a fair assumption that the game would have trade and would have an economy because they're doing cycles, or no? Just because,
the cycle, not so much for the economy, for the mechanic for me.
Okay.
I think it comes in a little bit for people wanting to like level quickly and get their gear quickly. So, because you either trade affixes, the shards themselves, or gear. I don't know if there's a stance on that, because people would love to trade shards. So it's like, here, go have your fun with your,
many.
Yeah.
Did you check out what he said? His son got a mirror last league.
I saw that.
Lucky.
Just that whole RNG thing.
Like, I won the lottery last league.
But,
got all the monies.
Tarek did say too, there's ladder.
60,000?
So there's ladder resets as well.
Right.
Well, yeah. That's a different. Yeah. So if you're competitive in that sense, yeah, that's cool.
And there'll be the arenas as well. I'm assuming there'll be a ladder for that as well. So
there's a separate one for arena and for general progression, right?
It's gonna be like maybe like a boss rush, like first one to beat, empowered, blah. Something along those
when
lines.
You get a cool MTX.
They want to do a bunch of ladders, so it's like first one to hit 500 levels on the arena, first one to level 100, first person to kill tier 4 Julra, first one to like there's gonna be lots of competitive stuff like that. First guy to find a 4 LP whatever. Yeah, they want to have lots of ladders, because I'm not a game designer, but I'm guessing like that might be an easier thing to code, or I don't know. I have no idea. Okay. Well, it's just something else I wanted to talk about. All right, moving on to the last thing I have. The last Epoch current Steam chart. And maybe this has looked a little bleak for a little bit. It's gotten a little bit of a bump.
A lot of players are just waiting now, so they're just playing other games.
Yeah, they're just in the wait. It's up 13%.
They don't want it. You want to invest the time to. They're not going to lose the characters per se. They'll just be in your, offline kind of thing. But they want to just wait. And the changes that we already know about in the game. So
I want to get this on record from both of you. March 10th. We're going to say March 10th. A day after The day after 090 drops.
Mm-hmm.
What does this number say?
1,200.
1,200?
Yeah.
You think 1,200?
It's like,
Oh, are you talking about all-time peak, or are you talking currently playing?
Well, I mean
that weekend basically.
Hold on. Okay.
I think currently playing is gonna be between 12 and
Like the
1,500.
24-hour peak type thing.
So you think that this number doesn't get higher?
I don't think all-time peak's going up. No.
You think March 9th all-time peak does not go up? The release of multiplayer.
I think the all-time peak was 8.4, 8.5.
It's
right?
8.4.
Yeah.
It's 8.4.
8.4.
And then dependent on how this multiplayer thing goes, then the release with all the classes, masteries finished, then that would be the defining moment. Because right now it's a pivotal moment, and they could get if they get this right and it works out, then they can get the confidence back and finish off the game.
None of this matters until they launch 1.0.
Yeah. So I think it kind of matters
right now.
Yeah, it kind of matters in general, but
March 9th is the accumulation of 5 years. Like literally.
Yeah. No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it really isn't.
Yes, it is.
They have not been working on multiplayer that long. It's the it's 1 year of them working.
That's a year and a half if you want to.
Yeah, that's what this is. It's not 5 years.
But the fonts, sound, character, intros, servers, boss fights, combat feel, skill reworks, everything.
Over the last year to year and a half.
March 9th is in my opinion, March 9th is a 95% completed game. The game's done. They had 3 masteries and they could ship it.
And well, once they add those 3 masteries in, you're gonna have to rebalance.
Yeah, like Mig's saying, it's important for the. They need a boost.
Make or break it. Yeah, they need a boost.
They need a boost, and if they get a positive, I think it'll benefit them in general. Like obviously, but then 1.0 will really kind of be the point where, like, okay, now all the players who are waiting come in as well. Not the people who've been playing, not the people on the fence.
What would be the worst thing that could happen?
The worst.
Yeah, like for instance, it launches, people crash, there's bad sync. Let's say
this is the all-time graph.
Real bad glitches happen, game-breaking bugs occur. That happens like Bethesda style. Do they come back like Bethesda or no?
Well, it won't be like Wilson. It
will not be a Wilson launch.
No,
because
you'll still be able to play it.
Yeah.
It just may have glitches.
Yeah.
Bethesda style.
Yeah. No, but I mean, just as far as popularity, it won't be Wilson, because Wilson was like hey everybody, if you're bored, the prettiest isometric PC made ARPG just dropped. You should try it out. And everyone's like, what the hell is this? Oh, you're playing it? Well, I'll play it. It was
gorgeous.
I mean, it was a
really
weirdly
nice. Kind of came out of nowhere.
Yes, it came out of nowhere. And you had to. I bought it. I bought 2 copies.
All roads lead back to Wilson.
It was this weird, like everybody bought it, and then a month later, nobody was playing it. But it supposedly
no one was playing it because it was bad
stuff. Especially
supposedly it sold 1 million copies.
Oh, I bet it did. And then like half the people quit.
$40.
Do you think half the people quit because homeboy that was in charge took the money and didn't pay them any extra?
Just for reference that we're talking about it. Okay.
All roads.
We are saying that 5 years of Last Epoch being in development, leading to a 95% completed game, leading to what they feel is going to be the biggest launch in the game's existence, March 9th, multiplayer, what lots of people have been waiting for. I'm not playing until it's multiplayer. I'm not playing until it's online. I'm not playing until I can play with my friends. Is coming. Right now, the most they've gotten is 7,200. Wilson
It's had multiplayer the whole time.
127,000.
Yeah, that was it. That March.
127,000.
To put it in perspective, Ebonheart's like, oh, 5 years, that's crazy. It's not that crazy when you realize that this is an indie company, or was an indie company.
Yeah.
They met up and worked entirely remote through essentially Reddit at first. That's not the most efficient way to do things, as there was no like definite structure when they started. They may have had a loose GDD. A lot of people contributed for free. Almost everyone at the beginning was doing it for free. So you got to think the first year or two were probably
So guilty.
Shouldn't be counted.
The last 30 days in Wilson apparently is about 1,600.
Dude, look
Is that what we're looking for?
3, 4, 5,
last Epoch for all time.
Oh, didn't they just get the new?
No, they haven't.
Yeah, they did get some type of update recently.
Yeah.
Wolson in the last 6 months, 5 of the months has growth.
In the green. Yeah.
And the last 4 months are in the green. Right now it's double. Wolson is double last Epoch.
The last chapter 4 is coming.
Yeah, but they haven't released anything.
No, but people are going to get their characters up and ready for it.
Right.
683 is, 300% more than what it was last time we looked.
Inquisitor, right in line with Wolson. Had a little bump. Okay. You two, guilty.
I'll say that 24-hour peak was our server.
I know, we had so many people playing. Daft, you're saying on record, March 10th, this number does not go up.
The all-time peak?
The all-time peak, 7,200 people at one time will not be playing Last Epoch. March 10th, a day, let's just say the March 9th through the 12th, 13th, right?
Are they going to market it at all?
Yes. Steve
is
in charge of marketing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but,
I was
okay. Maybe.
March
9th.
I'll give them
5,000.
I'm going to say March 9th. They will probably, I have no idea. This is literally just.
You think 24-hour peak will be 5,000, Daft?
No, all time. Like
all time.
Well, it's already 7.
I know, so you can't get it, but I think at that time it'll be around there as concurrent players. 24-hour peak. I would put it around maybe 2,000.
I think 12, but I would go between 12 and 2. That seems fair.
It just feels
and that's
like,
because the game's not released yet. It still has that early access tag. So a lot of people are going to be like, yeah.
I'm going to say,
brought it up in chat.
I'm
how many people actually know about it?
20,000.
You think all-time peak's going to hop up to more than double?
I'm going to say 20,000.
If it does, good on the game. It does deserve it. Those people worked really hard. And I kind of hope it does. The cynic in me doesn't see that happening, but it could, and it should. I think that the 24-hour peak is really the more important one.
I'm going to say 20,000 people, because a couple of things. Denali hits one of the points. Everybody that owns the game will likely check it out. They bought it and they've been waiting for it. And Last Epoch is sold, I think, 300,000 to 400,000 copies. Okay, I'm just throwing that out there. It does have 5 years of sales. And
but will they play it?
And they are going to have, I'm going to guess, obviously this, I don't know this, but I'm going to guess that the Zizarins of the world, the top 5 to 10 biggest, I could see, like, are they going to get a Riker? Like, that guy will do anything from, anyways.
I would take a Ziz over a Riker any day of the week.
The point I am saying is that they will get big streamers to play it, even if they're paying them. And I'm going to say 20,000. I'm going to say 20,000.
If Ziz goes out there and says, go play this game, it's going to be 20,000.
Ziz will for sure be playing it.
Yeah.
But
the first
again,
2 weeks,
and his squirrels will be all over. Yeah.
I'm thinking the first 2 weeks, if we go throughout the entirety, and if you do get the bigger YouTubers, obviously that could bring in some change that will come in, buy the game, play it, like it or not like it, and move on or stay. And that could bump up the community in general if everything goes smooth as it can. Unfortunately, they will be now thrown into the loop of, but the classes aren't finished. Oh, and then they might play a little bit less.
There is
'Cause they
something
realize,
else
you know.
also.
But you never know. You never know.
Something else on the horizon. No
What's
thanks. Maxroll. The biggest ARPG site on the planet gets over 40 million hits a month.
Yeah, but could it be like
What is
one
this?
dude going there 40 million times, look up a build?
What is this?
Could it be bots?
Ooh. Ah. You see
Yeah.
Diablo. You see Lost Ark. You see Path of Exile. You see the
I see
newly.
TLI, but I don't see any other
TLI.
torchlights.
Yeah.
You see
Yeah,
Torchlight
there's no
Infinite.
3 normal.
And you see Q1 2023.
Shouldn't
Last
they have like
Epoch.
Torchlight 2?
No, because you got to have a community that's like actively making content for it and builds and like
Right.
it's got to be like they don't keep games that are not being
Right now,
actively developed.
Right now, Grim Dawn is actively supported, has a higher community than last Epoch, and is not on Maxroll.
I don't run Maxroll. I don't know why Grim Dawn isn't on there, but I'm telling you that a game that is coming there is last
Well, then you
Epoch
can't take it seriously.
popped up Q1 2023. So you're going to have Maxroll creators on here making content for an ever-evolving
right.
game. You are going to have 10-cent money probably popped into the marketing. You're going to have big streamers covering it. And you're going to have the existing people that have already purchased the game finally getting to log in and play with their friends to check out multiplayer. 20,000, maybe more.
So until they get Grim Dawn on there, I will not take them seriously. It is a bigger game. By all the criteria they go by, it deserves to be on there.
Shammy's all happy.
They
Look,
betray-
Torchlight Infinite. Woo!
There you go.
Anyways, just trying to
Do they have a Grim Dawn server, or is that just like all the servers they have?
Grim Dawn,
could there be-
as you know, has moved into the modded community support realm.
No. I don't play mods. Grim Tools exists. What I'm asking is, are these only the top games, or are they all the games supported by Maxroll? The 7 here.
Oh, I see what you're saying. This is it, I think.
That's small group.
Yeah, select your game. This is it. They have certain I don't know what it is. They have certain criteria of what they.
Yeah, Grim Dawn being one of the biggest ARPGs ever made, not on there. Probably, in my opinion, many others' opinions, the best one ever made. But it's not on there. Okay.
Maybe 2 will get on there.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe Grim
Maybe
Dawn
2 is too
2
good to be on Maxroll.
will be worthy enough.
Maybe it says, don't put me on your website.
So they made their money off of Farthest Frontier, so now they can dive into there too. That'll be fun when that comes around.
Like, well, they got Diablo 3 on there, not Grim Dawn. Lost Ark is on there. That's an MMO.
You will notice that it is kind of, triple A.
Diablo 4 is on there, and it's not released.
Well, they are forward thinking about the.
They get special privileges.
They're probably like,
it says Diablo.
We will put D4 on there, and we'd rather have D4 than any other recent YouTube content.
I said we make our own Maxroll.
Yeah, that's easy. No,
we just do better.
Next time I do a Diablo 4 update, I'm going to see if it pops up over here. I wonder if it has to be like a certain it's like only Riker. Hello, everyone. This is Riker.
Riker coming from where's he at? Where is he at, Ken?
Wolson is not on there.
From?
Chris Wolson's not on Maxroll yet.
And it's, you know what? Wolson's at least an ARPG and deserves to be there more than Lost Ark does.
Oh, Kellyan, honestly, I never heard of Grim Dawn until Aaron and Boardman mentioned it. Ha ha ha.
Well, Kellyan, you're in for a treat. Go play it.
Grim Dawn is pretty old. If D2 didn't have a remaster, it wouldn't be on there
You know what
either.
else is pretty old? Diablo 3, Diablo 2.
But like we mentioned earlier, Diablo holds the name of names.
And one good game.
This is
Yeah,
right.
well.
This is Riper. Another
Up, Angler.
Well, Diablo 3 is good. It's just not as good as Diablo 2.
right. To close out this last Epoch special edition
Thank you.
podcast
He's in
50.
Quebec. Awesome.
Everybody knows about this Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Me, Daft, Guilty, Angwar, Rich, anybody in the CT, Wrath, we will be able to legally, un-NDA'd stream all the new stuff coming March 9th, okay? That is this right here, the multiplayer invitational that now you can't see. Friday. So it'll be Friday evening and then Saturday and Sunday, okay? Now, something that isn't talked about a lot is February 2nd, which is just like a rock's throw away, right? On February 2nd, let's party! Whoa! This event aims to test multiplayer beta on a larger scale.
Mm-hmm.
We will be inviting, this is another reason I said 20,000, because they're anticipating a lot. We will be inviting 10,000. That's right. 10,000 players to join us for a week of putting our servers to the test. Same as before, this event will be for the players who already own a copy of the game and can stream the content and discuss what they are playing. I mean, I don't really
So
like.
you have to be a streamer for this? Do they think 10,000 streamers are going to stream this?
I don't. This is worded very poorly. You do not have to be
Yeah.
a streamer to be a part. Guilty. The angle of your face right now, you look like the girl from Willy Wonka that blows up into a
No, I look like Willy Wonka.
you look like
I look like in my head,
You're
I'm like, oh,
filling-
they think 10,000 streamers are going to stream their game. That
it looks like you're filling
call
up
the
with
orange
juice.
people.
Anyways, same as before, this event for players who already own a copy of the game and can stream the content
Violet,
and
you're
discuss.
turning violet, Violet.
This is a big one for us, and we want you to join us. We will be sure to post the sign up for the pack and server party for the future, which, by the way, I haven't seen that. Have you seen a sign up for that? I don't know.
I haven't seen a sign up, and Rich is asking where Steve's footprint is on the post. I would like to see it. Steve has been up front with us, like deadpan up front. He doesn't hide anything.
That's true.
That's true. He has been upfront and said yes or no. And then
It'll be a definitive no, and he
Yeah.
if you don't like it, this is still a no.
Yeah.
You're turning violet. Oh, hi, Shin, Angwar, Chris. Who's that? Wow.
People.
Is Ellie
Hey,
worth
Shin.
installing now?
I mean, yes, if you just want to
If you're in
play the
CT.
game. If you're in CT, more so because
You're
you
in
know where the game
CT,
is
which
currently.
is community testers. Yes.
But we all know that our current community tester characters are going to get wiped too. So, there's that whole thing. So it feels like a league, if you will. We're just in a different version of the game.
I will
It's
say
fun
that
for the most part. There are some
anybody that
hilarious
owns,
glitches.
anyone that owns Last Epoch should try it March 9th. You're going to get to see all the newness.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're going to be able to see all the newness over these events. Okay. Which, by the way, obviously the one coming up this Friday, you'll be able to see everything. Then you'll be able to experience it yourself February 10th or February 2nd. And then on February 23rd to the 26th, anybody could play, even if you don't own the game.
Right.
This is going to be a
Good stuff.
free CT weekend. So you can just try
Right.
Everybody.
for everybody. And then March 9th, we get the official launch, and that is locked. It's coming regardless.
So,
Well, that's how
guys.
they're luring people in. They're getting the core and then reaching out. So they
Mhm.
want to kind of like, I think they're trying to build a hype train over the next few months.
One of the co-developers
Straight in.
Working in Cactus with me is actually waiting for the multiplayer weekends.
Right.
He said, I'm not even going to buy the game until I have multiplayer. He said that for years.
Mm-hmm.
And he's getting the free thing, and that's going to be his end. So try to make him want to buy it.
You know what's funny, and I know we're over time now, is that as much crap as we talk about Wolcen, they did the opposite of this. They were literally like, hey, the game's out now. Like, no, that was...
They
Hey,
didn't
everybody.
say anything. They just did.
Hey, everybody, the game's finished. It's now launched.
Yeah.
And 127,000 people at
Out
one
of
time
nowhere.
logged in.
Yeah.
Boom.
So
It
get
was.
this. Like, the
Crazy.
more you tell people you're going to do something, the less likely you are to do it. Like every time you tell someone you're going to do something, there's a little dopamine hit, because you get the feeling of like, I'm doing something even though you're not. You tell more people, you get that, and to the point where you're not seeking to actually do it.
I don't
You're just telling people you're doing it. So just do it.
Right.
aggro, they'll get Ziz, but I don't think they would go for like a Quinn. And I like Quinn, but there's some streamers you can... there's some people
Path of math on it.
that speak their mind more than others. There's...
Sure.
We haven't figured out whether or not speaking our mind has been a burden.
What am I trying to say? Quinn would really say how he felt.
Steve
Good or
already
bad.
said he reached out to Quinn, and he probably did. Steve has pretty much been straightforward. With
Quinn has no
every time.
patience. Quinn is a madman. I like Quinn. I like watching Quinn.
Oh, Demonmonger 85 says Quinn will 100% play it though.
I hope so. I hope so.
Cool. You know who I really want to play it?
Don't say it. Who?
Asmon.
I knew you were going to say it.
You know, if Asmon plays it, like if Asmon says the name.
I got Asmon to say the name.
You did. He said the name and said, I heard good things.
Yes, he did.
That's in a video. For all of you not aware, Asmongold reacted to one of Aaron's videos, and at the end of it said he heard good things about Last Epoch.
See that? So if the game's successful, I am owed some
That was a
kind
while
of
ago now.
something.
6 months.
If Asmongold played the game and said, hey, this is my stamp of approval, like you guys should get it, that's it. You actually don't need anyone else. Whether you love him or hate him, it doesn't matter. Like if you got Asmongold to say that, that's it.
He's a force of nature at this point. Like he doesn't even have to play games anymore.
He literally just watches other YouTubers on Twitch and then they clip that and put it on YouTube.
Yep. In
That's
real time.
That's freaking
The video
crazy.
the video where he was watching you got clipped and posted before he was done streaming that night.
Yeah, and it has
That
600,000
was true.
views. That's me and Lone Star McFluffin. We're Asmongold.
Yeah, Lone Star got another one.
We're
Yeah.
Asmongold bros because we've both been reacted to. Okay, what are we talking about? Now we're off topic.
Going off the rails.
Are we though?
This Friday, this Saturday,
Good question.
this Sunday, come by this Twitch. You will see CT090, me and the community, maybe a couple of these rugrats above me, playing the game. And I'm going to show you and tell you why Necro is top tier. I don't care what anyone says.
Because the game plays itself.
No, because there is two very
Good
prominent. No, two
A-star
very.
They did
pathfinding.
update to the wolf, the best AI in the game.
That's what I have to deal with. Two
An A-star path.
very prominent problems with Necro, and two very prominent problems have been fixed. And it's ridiculous. And somebody in chat earlier was like, "Oh, Aaron, stop talking." Oh, Rotten Gamer's like,
Rich
"Stop
is
talking.
like,
They're going to nerf
I'm
it."
going to carry Aaron.
Rich doesn't even know what he's doing.
Okay.
Oh,
Dude, Necro's so strong in the new CT. When I was streaming on Monday, last Epoch, single player, I was like, oh, it's like grueling playing that one compared to the new one. Anyways.
we'll all be similar level, which will change the overall player speeds and everything. So it'll be interesting for us to be the super low levels and kind of like go through the content.
And during the stream, if anybody wants to see anything, hey, I want to see the new NPCs. I want to see the font. I want to see combat feel. I want to see stash. I want to see crafting. Art. I want to see dungeons. Like we'll go through. My plan is I'm gonna run to level 30 and then turn right and go right into the monolith and power level myself through the monolith.
That's typically how I play.
You don't even wait till you get your idle slots, Aaron.
No, I did. No. I go in at 30 and then I go back and get them like I did with you.
I go
30 is the cutoff, and it's your fault for telling me that.
Yeah. Oh, I did a long time. I usually go in like 33 or 34, depending on how fast I can get there.
Yeah, but you can't get your idle slots by 33. You have to play way farther than that.
No, it's not that much further. You can get them all in one run.
I think
like all the last
average is probably 34, 35 hours or level.
Yeah, the last last 6 squares you can all get in the same area.
Yeah, they condensed it even more so now. So you get all those last ones on the first 3 quests. When
all the quests are in the same like patch.
So, in the same patch. I didn't even know you could skip the story. You could skip the story through the dungeons, or you get to say the hell with it and go straight to the monolith if you think you're strong enough.
Yeah. Or you just like want to
change up the game pacing.
You just still get a lot of XP.
So you get a 6. I think it's a 6 level boost. So if you went into the monolith at level 30 and you were playing level 60 content, you're going to get boosted like it's 36.
Right. Yeah, Rich is talking about the ice caverns being OP for XP. You go into the ice caverns
and OP for getting pummeled
stuff at you.
The bum bum bum. Oh, early on, before I understood that pattern, I got grilled by that thing so many times.
That's why you need just minions to do everything for you. You guys don't understand how the game works.
No, I use minions.
See, I don't think you understand how the game works because you let the game play itself.
I'm never talking to you again, starting right now. So I tell my kids that all the time. That's it. I'm done. I'm never talking to you again.
Done.
That's it. That's it. Okay, that's all I've got. I'm done. Check out the Patreon. Check out the Discord. Both are linked in the... That's not how you spell Patreon.
You're killing us.
There it is.
That's how you spell patron.
There's the Discord.
It. Oh, you beat me to the Discord.
Yes, sir.
Check them out. What we're going to do now is we're going to switch over to our bonus Patreon only hour. If you want to be a Patreon, I would really appreciate it. There's 6 different levels starting at $1 a month. All the likes, shares, comments, all of that is terribly needed. Shares. But if you want to take it one step further, join the Patreon. You get added wheel entries at the end of the month. You get into the VIP lounge in Discord. You get a chance to win special gear. You get a special title for the Discord. You get to check out the blog posts. You get to check out the bonus hour. It's always a fun time. So yeah. That's all I got.
Thank you.
We'll be talking about the Xbox Developer Direct they did today and some other stuff in the Patreon only. Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Happened.
Daft, you get the final word because I'm not talking to Guilty anymore.
Yeah. This was 50 and 2 more will be 1 year of this. So it's going to be pretty interesting. Been a great ride and see you guys next week. Hang out again.